just made content and really building his brand. And when it comes to his business, his own, he made it he's doing it his own way. And I just really wanted to have him speak. So realtors who are experienced and maybe just starting out, he can maybe speak to the importance of how important it is to just really believe in yourself and to constantly be putting yourself out there. So with no further ado, I want to introduce Kenny and give him the floor, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Hope everybody's having a phenomenal morning today. Definitely, I'll take 2 seconds just to thank God for waking all of us up, giving us breath in our lungs, and allowing us to have an opportunity for an amazing day. Really today, what's on my spirit is the pillars of life, the pillars of success, and most importantly, the fruits of the spirit. I think in today's day and age, we have a lot of these things kind of misaligned. So I want to speak to all of y'all from both a mindset posture and a heart posture, and just see if we could root some fundamental things that have really helped me a lot in my growth and will hopefully pass on to y'all. So what I'm gonna do is share my screen, and we'll go through some of these things together. So one thing that I was looking at, I just went into ChatGPT and was looking at, hey, what are the 4 pillars of a successful life? And you'll notice the order in these things. I just want y'all to keep in mind the order. But going through this, it talks about health, so physical and mental well-being. I think that's extremely important for every single person. You know, no matter how much wealth that we build, if we're not healthy to enjoy it, it means nothing. I love that being at the top, getting enough nutrition, fitness, rest. They actually show studies that say if you are active and you're in the gym, it exponentially increases your cognitive capacity within your brain, being able to function and think. Like, working out makes you smarter. So being in the gym is very important. Second thing they have on here is wealth, financial stability, and growth, which I thought was interesting. We're all working towards that, building assets, managing money, trying to create streams of income and different things. The third thing that they put on here was relationships, family, friends, community, and legacy. Having strong connections with your loved ones, your mentors, and your community. Receiving support. And then spirituality, purpose, faith, and inner growth. So I thought this order of things was very interesting. I feel like in today's day and age, we probably put wealth first, maybe relationships second, maybe health third, and spirituality fourth. And I say all of that to say that the influence on what matters right now, from a monetary perspective, from a financial perspective, from a materials perspective, it can really throw off our mindset to what's actually the most important. So I wanted to compare this with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is something that I read about in college. And I thought this was very important because a lot of the things that we put on top are really low-hanging fruit. And what historically, since, you know, as old as Maslow is, the beginning of time, has actually mattered to humans. So at the bottom, you see physiological needs: breathing, food, water, shelter, clothes, and sleep. Thank God that we all have that, you know, so that part is taken care of. The second part, safety and security, health, employment, property, family, and social ability. Thank God that we all have this, right? The third part, love and belonging, friendship, family, intimacy, a sense of connection. For the most part, I believe everybody on the call has this. And then we get into where it talks about things that will actually help us grow: self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect of others, the need to be a unique individual, the need to be a unique individual, the need to be a unique individual. I cannot stress that enough for the people on this call. a lot of times in business we can compare with how people look, how people talk, how people sound, how people dress, what people do or don't do. But there is a literal need in each and every one of ourselves to be just that, ourselves. God created every single one of us so unique that there is no other person on this earth that can be us. Literally, everybody else is already taken. They're themselves. But the world does not function in its full capacity without you being your unique self, being who you are, showing up how you want to show up on your content, showing up how you want to show up on your business. Dan says this all the time: your vibe attracts your tribe. There are different routes to success, but ultimately none of us, Daniel, Tommy, Luke, myself, Jen, nobody experiences success trying to be like another person. It's just not possible. At the end of the day, even if you are successful in some phases, it's going to burn out. It's not sustainable. So being your unique self is very important. And then self-actualization, it talks about morality, creativity, spontaneity, acceptance, experience, purpose, meaning, and inner potential. Now, I wanted to scroll down a little bit because I thought something was very interesting. When you get towards the bottom, it actually breaks this down even further as far as what, as humans, motivates us, drives us, and helps us elevate and grow, and what actually takes away from us as we start to obtain it. Okay? So it has a difference between deficiency needs and growth needs. So I'm going to scroll down here because this kind of breaks it down a little bit better. So what are our deficiency needs? Or in other words, what are things that as we start to have them, it means nothing. Our motivation can go away. So for example, maybe you're motivated about money, right? You get to a point, we saw that employment and financial security was under safety. After a while of so much money, that will no longer motivate you alone. It's a low-hanging fruit in the hierarchy of the chain of life. It's a low-hanging fruit. You look at your physiological needs, we can put that as far as a house. All we need is a roof over our head, right? You want to have a 10,000 square foot home and just live in it by yourself? All right, cool. But you get that, then what? There's a lot of things on the material side that are low-hanging fruits. And I thought that this was very important because I feel like in today's day and age, it's flopped. People want to have the money. They want to go get the nice thing. But really, if you shoot for that over the course of time, that's going to take away from what really drives you to be you and show up as yourself. Same thing with belonging and love needs and esteem needs. These are things that it's nice to have, but it's not going to allow you to define yourself and really achieve your full purpose. So now what actually matters? We're looking at cognitive needs. Cognitive needs are the needs for your brain to grow and expand, for yourself to continuously learn. Real estate is a great industry to be in for that because all that you do every single day is learn. Nobody knows everything, no matter how long you've been in the business. It's ever changing, ever evolving. I'll scroll down to where it talks about aesthetic needs. These are the appreciation and search for beauty, balance, and form within yourself. So we'll go back to health. Very, very important. Very, very important to maintain yourself. It leads to a deeper sense of satisfaction and harmony in your life. That is a number one priority that we all need to have. Self-actualization. This is realizing your personal potential, self-fulfillment, seeking growth, and peak experiences. Again, what are we not seeing on here? We're not seeing money. We're not seeing materialistic things. And then at the top of it, it has transcendence needs. A person is motivated by values that transcend beyond their personal self. Beyond self-actualization, they represent the human desire to connect with the higher reality, purpose, or the universe. So I wanted to bring this to everybody's attention because oftentimes, especially with the market the way it is, it's so easy to get frustrated. It's so easy to beat down on yourself. It's so easy to feel like, well, I'm not making enough money, or the deals aren't closing, or things aren't happening, and we lose track of what is really important. At the end of the day, all of these things are going to change. Money is the low-hanging fruit. You know, in my experience in my career, I spent my first year of business full-time with my back against the wall. Like every single month, on the end of the month, I was like, God, I don't know how I'm about to pay this bill, but I need you. I ain't know. I was doing apartments. They wasn't paying me for months. I was helping people get leases. They wasn't paying me. I was taking money off of my deals because it was tough the first 12 months. Yet every single day I was grateful and I was excited. Nobody would be able to tell what was going on. I got invited to speak in different rooms and different panels where, truth be told, I probably didn't belong. But it's the mindset, it's the aura. My focus was always on the greater good. God, who can I help today? God, how can I be a better version of myself today? How can I grow? How can I elevate? Because I know the money will come, but the money cannot be the goal. It can't be. That's backwards. That's backwards. So my challenge to each and every one of you guys is, one, look yourself in the mirror and assess how you're showing up for yourself each and every single day. I start all of my mornings with a mantra. It's pretty long, but you know, some of the things that I say are like, you know, I'm healthy, my mind is healthy, I'm growing, I attract healthy relationships. I'm gonna change the lives of 1 million people. I'll bring 1 million people jobs. Like really, really, really big goals that are bigger than myself. But it puts everything in balance and perspective, right? Even on the financial side, I attract money in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continual basis. I believe it, I speak it, but it's still not the core of how I live my life. And then the last thing that I'll go back to on ChatGPT is, what are the fruits of the Spirit? I think these are things that you just try to live by, try to mold yourself by each and every single day. We live with love, which is selfless, it's unconditional, care for others. We live with joy, inner gladness that is not dependent on our circumstances. What are you grateful for? Having peace, the calming and the assurance and trusting God. I'm telling y'all, man, I would have lost my mind those months where I didn't get the check until the day the rent was due. I would have lost my mind, but I had peace. Patience, long-suffering, enduring through trials with people. Patience. Everybody is in this industry because we believe the impact that we can make and the impact that it can make in our lives. Your current reality today may not reflect what the reality will be in the future. However, in the next 3 or 4 months, there's going to be thousands of people that quit. There's going to be thousands of people that walk away, that turn their back. Are you able to be patient and endure and stay connected and attached to the vision and the goal? Can you live with kindness, having compassion in everything that you do? Moral integrity and generosity. Is there goodness within you? Do you have faithfulness, loyalty, trustworthy, and reliability, gentleness, strength under control, humility, and self-control? Having discipline over your desires. The last thing I'll say, I know it's 9:16. The last thing I'll say is, the brain is a funny thing. The brain is a funny thing. Our brains and our minds work for us, but oftentimes work against us. Your brain can make things appear bigger, badder, more scary than they really are. You know, fear is always false expectations appearing real. So I just challenge everybody to show up every single day with gratitude, show up with purpose in the bigger picture. Whatever the circumstance is that you're facing right now, good, bad, or in between, don't let it define you. You know, always remember the bigger goal. And areas that you may have fear, areas where it seems like it's too big, too small, whatever the case may be, just face it and knock it out, because 9 times out of 10, it's not nearly as bad as what it seems. And as always, man, everybody, you're blessed, you're highly favored, and I hope you all have continued success in your careers.
Kenny.